Morgan and her men. Let's get into it. Hola mi gente, MsMalcolmHughes here. Welcome back. Today we are coming to review a short story, and that is The Sweetest Night by Ashley Antoinette. This is an additional story to the Butterfly series. And for those of you who are not familiar, Sweetest Day is actually something we celebrate in the Midwest, and it's a day where the more feminine party generally honors the more masculine party. And it's like the opposite of Valentine's Day. You know, Valentine's Day is really when the more masculine or dominant party is really honoring the more feminine or submissive party within that dynamic, or whatever words you choose to identify you and your partner. And Sweetest Day is like the opposite, you know? So it really is, it's like an additional Valentine's Day, honestly, but it's like for my sweetie. So we call it Sweetest Day. And so this story places us distinctly in Sweetest Day. It opens up with Messiah and Morgan outside of Ethic's doorstep, and Messiah is really trying, and you know, they went out, they had a good time. Messiah doesn't want it to end. You know, Messiah wants his way when he wants it, and Morgan's like, chill, like it was one evening, like I need time, you pressing it, you're doing too much, and I'm not there. And while they're having this exchange, and it's starting to get a little heated, because you know Mo and Messiah, oil and vinegar, it just isn't mixing. We get Henny and Bella who come up, and then they decide, based on a call from Aria, to head over to a haunted house. This is Henny, Bella, and Morgan. Messiah doesn't go because this is during the period where there's still tension between Messiah and Amik over Morgan. This is also during the period of time where Morgan is heavily with Bash, and if you remember from the story, Amik is tired, okay? You're doing too much, all right? You got Messiah over here, you got Bash over here, you're trying to toy with me, you don't know what you want, you playing little kid games, and I'm not on that. I don't have time for that. And so when they get there, you know, Issa and Arya and everyone's there, and Amik is there, but he's off doing his own thing with the crowd of, you know, groupies and onlookers, and Morgan peeps it, but she can also tell that he's trying to stay away from her. So it's that dynamic. Everyone's going into the haunted house. Morgan's like, I'm not going. Henny's like, I'm not going. So those are the two not going, but then Amik comes up out of nowhere. Yeah, I know I might blush when I'm talking about Amik. I love him. But he grabs Morgan like, come on, man, let's go. And so they go inside. They have this experience. They have this time. But the thing with Morgan and Amik, it's always for this limited period of time. Whatever moment they're in is always the moment that they have. There are no guarantees beyond that specific period of time. And this is another example of that, where they are in this moment, they're having a beautiful time, but can their world exist outside of these unique short-lived moments? The answer always appears to be no. So as things progress, you know, Morgan goes her separate way, Amik goes her separate way, but then they kind of meet up at the red light. It's a whole moment. And while Morgan is kind of caught up in the rapture of that, shout out to Anita Baker, we get Bash calling, and that snatches her back to the reality of her situation. What I always appreciate about these short stories is that it does place us right back in that context of our favorite characters, back in that Ethic land world, and to know like what's happening with them. I do sometimes hate that they're out of context, right? So they're just little stories, so we don't really know where they fit, but I always enjoy them. I am rooting, and still rooting, have always been rooting for Morgan and Amik. I think that as far as Morgan's growth and potential, I think of the current men in her life, Amik is the one who is most favorable and will help her grow the most. But, you know, Morgan and Messiah have kids together, so that's a lot that they have to grapple with. They have to be in each other's lives, so they have to figure out what that means. And this is just another story that, you know, demonstrates all of the problems that she has with all of the men in her life. So I did enjoy it. I do think it's worth checking out. Just wanted to come on here and discuss it with y'all. You know, we love these characters. I know a lot of y'all began following me because of my reviews of Ethic and Butterfly. So I always want to keep us abreast of what's happening in that world. that is it for today. If you've read the story, let me know below your thoughts on it. But as always, I am Ms. Malcolm Hughes, one who believes that books are sometimes better than people. And until the next one, please remember to give time, to be kind to each other, and to have the very best day of your life on purpose. I'll see y'all later, and happy vlogmas. Peace. Odabo. Adios. Ciao.